Let's begin to look at the structural classification. We have said that sentences can be classified structurally into four major parts: the simple, the compound, the complex, and the compound complex. Let's look at each of these separately. When you talk about a simple sentence, it consists only of one independent clause and it has no dependent clause, meaning that a simple sentence has only one major clause or an independent clause. When you say an independent clause, it means a clause that can stand on its own without having to depend on another clause. A simple sentence is an example of an independent clause. It has no dependent clause. It doesn't have a need for it. Let's see some examples. The boy stole a pencil. The boy gave the pencil to his friend. Education in pre-literate societies was motivated by the need to survive. Did education in pre-literate societies involve sharing survival skills? Now, all these examples are examples of a simple sentence. Don't forget, it consists only one major clause and does not require a dependent clause. Let's go on to look at a compound sentence. A compound sentence, from its name, comprises two or more main clauses. When you say a main clause, another name for a main clause is an independent clause. So a compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses joined by the following: a colon or a semicolon, a coordinating or a correlating conjunction. And mind you, a compound sentence contains no subordinate clause. Just like the simple sentence, it doesn't require a subordinate or a dependent clause. Let's see some examples of coordinating conjunctions. You have examples such as and, but, for, or, nor, so, and yet. These are examples of coordinating conjunctions, even though there are three major coordinating conjunctions in the English language, and that includes and, but, and or. The other conjunction, that is the correlating conjunctions, have examples such as either or, neither nor, not only but also, both, and whether or. You see, these exist in pairs. Let's go ahead and look at some of the examples of a compound sentence. You see two clauses that have been separated in the table that you are looking at. Let's see the first example. The boy stole a pencil and gave it to his friend. There are two distinct independent clauses in that example. Education in pre-literate societies was motivated by the need to survive, It therefore involved sharing survival skills. These are also two separate clauses. The woman was there, but the man did not see her. Either you return the goods or you pay for them. Let's go on to look at a complex sentence. A complex sentence contains one independent clause and one or more subordinate clauses. That's a complex sentence. It is usually joined by a subordinating conjunction which establishes a relationship between the main and the subordinate clauses. A conjunction may indicate a cause. For example, because, now that. A conjunction also may express a period of time or location. We have examples such as since, where, while, when, and so on and so forth. A conjunction also can create a comparison, as you have in as if, more than. It can also establish a result, as you have in so that. Then it provides information about the preceding noun or pronoun, as you have in that, which, who, meaning that these relative pronouns can precede a noun or a pronoun. Let's go ahead to see some examples of a complex sentence. Take note of the first clause and the second clause, and take note of how they are represented. The independent clauses are written in italics, while the subordinate conjunction are written in bold upper case. The subordinate clause are written in normal lettering. After the boy stole a pencil, he gave it to his friend. The second clause is the main clause, while the first clause is the subordinate clause. After is the subordinate conjunction. Let's see the second example. Though education in pre-literate society was motivated by the need to survive, it involved more than sharing survival skills. Third example. The man did not speak to the woman because he did not see her. Now let me give you a clue on how to recognize a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause is usually said on the rising tune, meaning that once you have said it, there will always be a need to say something else. For instance, after the boy stole a pencil, you cannot stop. You need to complete that. Though education in pre-literate societies was motivated by the need to survive, you see, you can't stop there. You need to complete the sentence. Because he did not see her, what then happened? So this is a clue or a cue to know what a subordinate sentence or a subordinate clause is. Let's look at compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence is a combination of a compound sentence and a complex sentence. Don't forget, a compound sentence comprises two or more clauses, while a complex sentence comprises one main clause and at least one dependent clause. Let's see some descriptions of a compound complex sentence. It contains at least three clauses, two or more independent clauses joined by a coordinating or a correlating conjunction, and at least one subordinate clause joined to one of the main clauses by a subordinating conjunction.